Hey there, everyone. This is Patty D, your coach and job strategist. Today, I'm sitting here with Jean. Jean Simpson is the president of Creative Solution Finders. She is the director of Garandola Academy, and she is the past manager at the work source for the unemployment department. Jean, so happy to have you here.
Patty, so great to be here.
There are over 3 million people applying for unemployment right now. And here it is. You have the beautiful viewpoint of being able to understand what a person has to go through when they hit unemployment. But then you've also helped like a tremendous amount of people become sole proprietors and entrepreneurs. So we're going to touch upon every aspect of your career thus far, but talk to the job seekers a bit about what they're going to have to go through when they get on the ESD site.
Great. So if your employer has laid you off and you want to apply for unemployment, go to esd.wa.gov, click on the COVID-19 unemployment information tab, and you will see a form. You want to take a print of it, and you want to go gather everything that they're asking you for on that form. Basically, if you've been with the same employer for the last 18 months, you're probably good to go. But if you've changed employers in the last 18 months, you want to go and gather up your start and end dates so that you can put that in, because you will have to type that into the system. They will send you an auto response back. You will just start claiming every week. You might not get a check every week, but once they get to you and they do a telephone call with you, which could at this point, I think you said it's about 24 days out right now for a phone call back.
Right.
But you want to keep claiming, because for every week that you've claimed, you potentially get retroactive when they do open up your claim and validate it.
Okay. And then also, Jean, I know that you had a sheet of paper where you were showing people as far as the checklist. Do you still happen to have that nearby?
I do. It's right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
it's really just an unemployment benefits application checklist. So, not everybody that applies is going to get it, but you need to at least apply. And that money comes from a Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act for adults and dislocated workers. So not only is there potentially unemployment available to you, there's education available to you, there's training available to you, and for some adults, there's actually support services available to you. So be sure that you check into everything that is available to you.
Okay, that's great. And then also now let's jump to the Garandola Academy, because the self-employment assistance program which is part of WorkSource, has contracts out to companies like yours being the best, of course, but you help people be sole proprietors and entrepreneurs. So that is something that I most certainly want to touch upon right now, because we are in a game changer of a time, right? The landscape of work is forever changed. And there are going to be, quite a number of entrepreneurs and sole proprietors coming out of this time. So tell people about Garandola and what you offer, and then we'll jump over to what Creative Solution Finders do.
Right. So the Garandola Foundation, we've been in business for quite a few years, and we've helped thousands of entrepreneurs get started in solopreneurship and entrepreneurship and business ownership, whether that was brick and mortar or online. And so there's this little program called SEAP, S-E-A-P, and it's available in quite a few states. And here in Washington, we have a provider list, and we're on that. And you can actually choose self-employment while you're drawing unemployment rather than choosing job search. It's a simple application. You just fill it out. You can, if you want to find us, you can go to seapwashington.com, fill out the application. We check it off. We make sure that everything's good to go on it, and then we send it off to Olympia for you. You hear back pretty quickly, and basically that just that's a carte blanche for you to say, I'm going to spend this time on unemployment building my business. And not only do you get all the resources that Garandola has, but you get all the resources that are free out there also. So lots and lots of activities to keep you busy. Even sitting at home in quarantine, you could build your own business right now.
And you don't have to look for work while you're in the program.
Absolutely.
I think there's a small cost to the program, right, Jean?
So for Garandola, our idea to launch program is $3.99, and that's a one-time cost. And then the book itself is $49.95 on. So, and that's it. The rest of the cost is you actually building your business.
Great. And here it is. You are now also the founder of Creative Solution Finders. That always trips me up, but you know, you work with the people that have the ideas, that are really on the track of going to entrepreneurship. And I would suspect that you confront quite a bit of fear, right?
Oh, there's a lot of fear.
Right. With individuals, it's maybe possibly the shoulds, the shouldn'ts, the can't, I don't know how, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. You know, it's the constant groove that goes around in our brain. And hopefully, like during this time, we can create new neurons, new synapses, so that we don't get caught in that rut, because it is a conversation that we have. I never would have thought that I would be creating a video to put out on the internet. Like, quite honestly, I feel far too shy for that, but it's like, I want to be of service right now. I mean, I've been in the executive recruitment to career coaching, job strategy. I'm most certainly a strategist. And it's like, you know, the big question for me that I want to answer is, how can I be of assistance? Who can I talk to? What sort of messages can we get out there? Because this is a time of rebirth, really. It's a time of creation. It's like, you know, what do you want to design for yourself? How do you want to redefine work in the new paradigm for you, the listener? So talk to people about, you know, what you hear from your clients that are going through the program and that are part of CSF. You know, what do you have to face? How do you have to derail people to have a different conversation in their mind? Talk to me about that.
I think the most important thing is that it takes a tribe, right? You don't just start a business on your own and Shazam, you're making millions of dollars.
Right.
It takes a tribe of people around you. It takes coaches. It takes advisors. It takes people who have done things and have skills that you don't have. And I think the biggest thing in working with anybody, whether it's a business coach or a personal coach, is that in this time of trying to rebirth ourselves and come back a better version of who we are, doing something bigger and greater for the universe, is that we all need to be peeling back the layers. And it takes someone else to peel back the layers, or at least to start the process. You just can't do it alone.
You have to ask the big questions and the more creative questions, right? The what, the when, the how. Why questions I'm not so much a fan of, but you really are only as good as your questions, and they need to be big. I mean, most certainly people are curious and wondering how they're going to pay their rent right now. And quite honestly, I've been there and I get that, but that's not one of the big questions.
It's not, you know, people, you get so into your rut that it just takes another perspective to help you see something that is right in front of you. Like, you just can't see the forest through the trees sometimes when you're on your own. And someone else comes in and in 2 seconds, they say something that opens up a whole new world for you. And so that's really what we do with Creative Solution Finders, is we get in there and say, okay, you know, what's working, what isn't working, what can we do to either improve upon and or create a whole nother channel for revenue. And talking about that other channel for revenue, one of the things we worked with for the last 12 years with Garandola is the distiller industry in Washington State. So the distiller industry is one of the fastest growing industries in our state, and they pivoted so quickly in the last month. It's not, I mean, they make your head spin. They were the first ones to realize they had a byproduct of alcohol to turn around and make hand sanitizer. First, just to use it to entice people to come into their distilleries to purchase product, and then gathering together as the tribe of distillers for our state and saying, we need to produce this on a mass scale and sell it, right? And so that was a total power pivot.
Right.
And
I love the power pivot.
We're seeing that with all kinds of industries, you know, quickly, you know, from making couches here in Mukilteo to making face masks for the health industry. And so, and it's integrity. It's just the right thing to do, right? So
right. Being of service. Again, what, however small or big, it doesn't matter. It's the intention. It's the intention that matters. And here it is. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this all the time, with regards especially to facing fear, right? You put it out into the quantum, you know what your intention is, you know what sort of emotion you want to be feeling, and you collapse it and you go out into the darkness. We don't always have to be caught up in the how, though the how most certainly will come into play. But if you're on the right track, which, I'm certain that many people are going to be getting on a different track right now, like that, the hows will take care of itself. And there's time for meditation right now. There's time to be able to go out and take the pad to the pen and really redefine and design what it is that you want for yourself. And it is a creative process. And with creativity, comes frustration. Doesn't mean, there's going to be frustration to get to the creativity at times. What you offer a lot of people, that are feeling challenged, is support. And
Right.
also, a great deal of insight, because you've helped people transition through it. And you have had, plenty of success stories, which, we can touch upon case studies in another video, if you so desire. I mean, there's so much to cover in a short amount of time, but really I wanted to touch the highlights that, the leveling field most certainly has gotten more level, right? There's not going to be the overqualified, underqualified. This is a time to decide. And if you are a baby boomer that is having a hard time with the technical aspect, find someone, get connected. That would be a beautiful business right there, to just like bridge the gap between the two, because the individuals that have been doing it for 20 years plus, that have a great deal of experience to offer, want to get connected with the tech savvy folk, right? And vice versa. We both have something to share and benefit each other. Some of the things that I did a little bit of research on, where they are hiring and where it would be beneficial to apply to the black abyss of the ATS system, because it's most certainly something that I'm not recommending right now. But positions that are hot are CPAs. Of course, April 15th is around the corner. Store associates, system operators, healthcare specialists. We want to say thank you to them. Construction jobs are still going strong. Genentech is, the front runner on LinkedIn as far as who is trending for hiring at this point. And I know that I'm trying to not make this video too long so people will listen to it. But Jean, do you have anything to add?
I do. I want people to understand that this time at home is a gift. Yes, it's stressful. You might not know when your next check is coming, but you know what? Just take the time to be thankful for what you have, and write down a list of things that you're grateful for, and you will be surprised how happy you walk away a few minutes later after doing an exercise like that. Because this is a gift like we've never had in our lifetime, to just be able to go home, stay home, rest, and redefine who we want to show up as when we do come out of this cocoon. And
Right.
so we're available to you, Creative Solution Finders, on Facebook, creativesolutionfinders.com. We're available at seapwashington.com. All kinds of resources. If you're looking for an SBA loan and you need a little help, just reach out.
Gosh,
We're happy to help with that.
That's right, Jean. We didn't talk about that, because the SBA, the Small Business Association, they will be having a great amount of funds to give out to the sole proprietor and the entrepreneurs out there.
Yep.
I'm sure there's going to be, a lot of grant money too as well.
There will be. So be looking, and Patty, let's chat in a week or so, because we'll probably have more information by then even too.
That's right. We will have an update, won't we? This is going to be our week to week, just so everyone knows. Well, you know what, Jean, I can't think of anything else to touch upon at this time, but most certainly, the landscape will change very quickly, and maybe we will, speak again. Honestly, I think it would be beneficial for people to know more about the self-employment assistant program, and that can be another topic of conversation if you're open to that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Absolutely. So listen, everyone, Lewis couldn't be here today. He basically says peace, love, and chicken grease. I think that's pretty much what he said. He sends his hello to everyone. And of course, you know, I want nothing but the best always throughout my entire career. I want nothing but the best for people when it comes to their life's work, their working life, because we spend a lot of time doing what we're doing and we want to be happy doing it. Jean, I want to thank you so much for your time. Everyone, signing out, sending
Thank you,
love.
Patty.
Use this time wisely, and we'll be talking to you again.